officially 12:57 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is 1 a.m. on a Monday morning, June 29th, 2026. It is time for your Body Slam Forbidden Door. As you can tell, it's 1 a.m. Forbidden Door 2026 post-show here on bodyslam.net's social media pages. My name is Max Sinderberg. I am joined, as always, for my AEW post shows by Blackhawk. Prograp is already here saying his shirt is off for Will Ospreay. I mean, and for Blackhawk. There you go. A minute in, already have a comment. That's awesome. Really appreciate you, Prograp, as always. Let's Go is right. That was a very special show. I'm very honored to be joined by Blackhawk as we're going to be breaking down every single match. It was a long show. If you include the pre-show, it basically turned into a 6-hour event. The main show went for 5 hours. I think they went long because they were actually on the West Coast tonight. They were in San Jose, so it wasn't 1 a.m. at the time of them doing the show. But that was a truly incredible way to end a crazy week of wrestling. Night of Champions yesterday, Slammiversary, Great American Bash, and now Forbidden Door. Blackhawk, what are your thoughts as we are kicking off this post show here?
Fantastic show all around. Great start. The pre-show was really good, and then you kick it off with some really strong matches and finish it in an incredibly strong match. Which, going into it, I wasn't sure if that was going to end last or if it was going to be the cage match, and this 100% should have ended the end of the night. That was the right choice.
Yeah, there were so many points, and I was like, boy, this match is going to be really tough to top. Then I felt really good heading to the main event. What my favorite match was, and we'll get to the main event, but I was absolutely blown away. And that's a match that a lot of these matches themselves on the whole, yes, they weren't the most unpredictable of winners, but there was so much to them story-wise, in-ring work-wise that made a show. Because going to the show, I think we all thought Double or Nothing was going to be very, very tough to beat. I mean, we really loved Double or Nothing.
Yes.
I might have liked this more, and that could be a hot take for people. I really, really love this show. Yes, it definitely went too long, but you can say the same thing about every AEW pay-per-view. I don't think these shows need to be 6 hours long if you include the pre-show. Not at all. I'm down to be done at midnight, not 1 a.m. Again, people have work the next day. I think if they did this on a Saturday night, people wouldn't care as much, but it's tough for people who have work the next day or whatever you have on a Monday.
Like me.
Sorry, we're going to be on pretty late, Blackhawk, but
it's all right.
There are worse things to be talking about at 1 a.m. than
true, for sure.
AEW Forbidden Door. So if you guys are joining us here across our social media platforms, first of all, the fact that even more than one person is up at 1 a.m. watching a pro show, thank you guys so much. We're currently live on Body Slam socials on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and what else did I not make? Facebook as well. So if you guys are on those pages, please hit that like button. It really helps support the channel. It helps our YouTube algorithm out and algorithms in general out so they can get out to more people. Please follow across all of our social media platforms. We post stuff every single day on every single one of those platforms. So please as well consider following that. And also please comment along, guys. As I said, ProGraphs has been commenting. I'll pull it up like this and we'll have a discussion. You guys also will dictate a lot of the conversation about each topic. So please add in your comments. We'll apply those to the particular matches we're going to be talking about. Also, if you guys are not familiar, Blackhawk and I do a podcast here called Not So Young Lions, where we break down New Japan Pro Wrestling every single Friday. So we are very good people to be doing this AEW show as always, because we are very in deep with New Japan Pro Wrestling on a weekly basis. So if you're a fan of any one of these promotions, this is definitely the show for you. Let's start the pre-show, which I thought was actually a very strong pre-show. There were 3 matches. The show started with Daniel Garcia of the Death Riders facing off against Unbound Company's Drilla Maloney. This match got announced very last minute, like an hour before the show started. because at the time they only had 2 pre-show matches. Thought this match was really solid. They had more time than I was expecting. The big finish was Drilla went for the Drilla Killa, and Marina broke it up, got on, kind of interfered, as they say, and Drilla almost ran over Marina. But Garcia rolled him up, and then Drilla turned it into a Drilla Killa. And Drilla Maloney gets a win at Forbidden Door. He was used last year for Forbidden Door at the War Dogs on the pre-show as well, but this is getting a victory over, yes, not the most famous or the top guy of the Death Riders, but a very good young talent in Daniel Garcia. I think we knew once they booked this match, Maloney had to kind of win this. What are your thoughts, Blackhawk, on getting him on the show and getting him a nice little win here?
I was very happy they were able to get him on the show. I heard he was also one that was having visa troubles, and that's why he wasn't on the card for the Chicago G1 show.
Yeah.
So I believe they announced that he was going to at least be there for that now, which is very exciting. But yeah, when they announced this, I had a feeling that Drilla would be walking out the victor. It's nothing against Daniel Garcia at all. I think Drilla is in for a really big push with New Japan coming up pretty soon. And so he needs to get some wins somewhere. And a win on a Forbidden Door pre-show is pretty good, especially since it's somebody against Daniel Garcia, who is a former TNT champion, somebody who has challenged for the heavyweight championship a lot. So it's somebody who has their teeth sunk into AEW and the AEW history. So getting a win here is big, and he can carry that momentum into the G1.
Yes, I agree. And I do want to say too, as I told you, should have happened. Walker Stewart was on commentary throughout the entire show. He wasn't there for the final 2 matches, but those were just all AEW versus AEW matches, so that was fine. But he was on every match, and I think that added a lot because he doesn't just call matches for New Japan. He calls all of the Stardom matches as well. So he is very knees deep, and he did a good job explaining these people, the positions, the factions. I think that he did a very good. Walker Stewart is a really, really good commentator. Like I think I'm always mixed on Chris Charlton. There's times I think he's really good. Sometimes he's not totally for me. Walker Stewart is such a great commentator.
100%
tells a story, definitely explains things for non-fans of those companies. And I thought he had a really, really good outing tonight. Hopefully people who have never heard of him announced before now know who he is, because I thought he was very good on commentary tonight.
Yeah, he did a really good job of also selling New Japan to people who maybe not watch New Japan very frequently. Especially when, a lot of people are watching AEW in the States. A lot of people are going to watch Forbidden Door. Not everybody's going to watch New Japan next week. With the 3 events they've got going on next week, not everybody's going to tune in. But he did a really good job of selling that, and maybe got more American fans interested in what's going on over in Japan.
Yes, I agree. Next match, we had Micah taking on Sky Blue in the final qualifying match for Survival of the Fittest TBS title match, on Wednesday. Stardom president Taro Okada was ringside for this one as well. I did not expect the finish. Micah actually won this match and will be a part of the Survival of the Fittest on Wednesday on Dynamite. I thought this match was actually a lot better than I was expecting. Sky Blue had a really good Liger bomb in this match. Micah hit this power bomb on the apron, which I thought was really good. A suplex, like a brain buster on the apron. I thought that was really good. And she got the win over Sky Blue, which I think this pre-show is good, just showing off that getting giving a Stardom wrestler a win, because we knew that probably wasn't going to happen on the main show. But hey, if Micah wants to work Wednesday, I think this was absolutely the right call. So I'm very happy. And again, I think they did a good job. We'll talk about this on the main show. But a lot of talent who maybe didn't get the biggest pops at first, maybe they weren't familiarized, they were getting some big reactions towards the end of their matches. I thought that included Micah here, Blackhawk.
Yeah, I agree. Friday we discussed this match, and we both were pretty sold on Sky Blue winning. We didn't think Micah would stick around for Dynamite this week, but here we are. Now I don't think she's gonna win that
No.
match, but it is a fun addition. It's somebody different that we have not seen a lot out of as
Yeah.
far as AEW goes. I haven't watched a ton of Stardom, so I was not super familiar with her, but I thought this match was great. And
Yeah.
moving forward, I'll be keeping my eye on her.
They have used a lot of different Stardom talent over the last
Yeah.
month on both Ring of Honor and AEW. So props to Tony for showcasing a lot of the different women. I guess we can talk about this now that it's finalized. Do you have a pick for Wednesday? Who's winning the TBS title now? With Micah being obviously not Micah, but her being officially being the last person. Now we know the 6 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, survival the fittest. Who's your prediction right now for the TBS title?
I honestly wouldn't be disappointed with any in that match winning. Even Micah winning would be kind of cool because it would be a shock.
Yeah.
But I think Hikaru Shida is my pick for winner.
Yes.
I think she's worked long enough without any sort of accolade that she deserves something.
Yeah. The 3 people in that match I think have a chance are her for sure. I think Harley has a very good chance. And my dark horse is Aminata. I think I've kind of been waiting for that push for her. Now that could be an ROH and 9 AEW, but I would hope. So I think those 3. I don't like. Stats had her time in the TBS title run. Excuse me. Micah isn't going to win, so I do feel comfortable putting those 3. But she is a good pick. I'll just pick Aminata because I think she's a really good dark horse that I think would shock people. And yeah. Let's move on to the final match on the 0 hour, and that was the Women's Tag Team Championship match for AEW. Megan Bayne and Lena Cross defeating Olympia and Thunder Rosa from CMLL. New entrance, not theme, but just a new looking entrance for Divine Dominion, where Megan and Lena are like talking at the beginning of the video of the entrance, and then the music hits, and then they come out. Thought they looked really good. The entrance video itself was good. This was my favorite title match of this defense of Divine Dominion. I thought it was easily their best match. I thought Olympia and Thunder Rosa really brought it, a fast-paced, clearly lucha libre style wrestling to the match. There's a part where like Olympia does like the running boot in the corner to Megan, and then she lays down, and Thunder Rosa catapults herself off of Olympia into Megan in the corner. I thought that was really good. I think we say this on every Divine Dominion match. Megan Bayne is so damn good, people. That Psycho knee is really, really good. Every time she hits it, it's very on the money. She hit a top rope, what do you call it? Hurricanrana from the top rope in this match as well. She is not a small woman, people. That is very impressive. New Divine Dominion got the win, but I thought they got their best title match out of Rosa and Olympia here.
Yeah, I completely agree. They haven't had super deep matches with this title yet.
No.
And so this was definitely their best. I think it might be their longest one. I'd have to go and check the other ones, but I think this is their longest and definitely their strongest. Yeah. Definitely their strongest defense. I really enjoy them together as a team.
Yes.
As well as Thunder Rosa and Olympia. I thought they were really, really good together.
Yep.
But one thing about them is I can't wait for the Divine Dominion breakup eventually, because I think the Megan Bayne and Lena Cross match is going to be incredible. Yeah. So I'm enjoying them as a team, but I'm very much looking forward to their breakup.
Yeah, that, again, I think the plan here is Brawling Birds beat them at All In, give Hayter and Windsor the big hometown win in front of Wembley. Windsor will get her moment. We'll talk about her husband who will get a moment, I think, as well. But they have another pay-per-view in between this, so they got to find another tag team in between Brawling Birds. And this. But I thought this was very good. I thought the pre-show itself was good. I thought each match over-delivered. So that works for me on the 0 hour. Now, the main show, as Mackie's saying hi to you, Black.
What's up, Mac?
Let's get to the main show. We had the triple threat tag match, interpromotional, whatever you want to call it. Young Bucks from AEW, CMLL's Mystico, and Mascara Dorada, who, by the way, just became the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions in Arena Mexico. So now Mystico is champions in 3 different companies now.
Yeah.
3 different tag team champions with 3 or a couple different partners, I guess, because he is the Trios champions in CMLL, Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champion in New Japan with El Desperado, and now he's the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champion with Mascara Dorada. Plus, he works MLW. This guy is everywhere.
Yeah.
Very impressive. We also got Unbound Companies, Shingo Takagi and Titan. Walker Stewart, we said he was going to bring it up. Actually, Shingo's been teaming with Jill Maloney, but they did do a good history lesson of why they are Unbound Company. It's War Dogs plus LIJ, and it makes sense to do Shingo and Titan because they were both in LIJ. The way you want to kick off a Forbidden Door, I think it's exactly like this. You get all 3 companies in the ring at the same time, fast pace. You see all the different styles here. The Bucks can do a lot of Lucha Libre stuff, and especially Nick. And I thought he did a really good job. Mascara Dorada, I don't think is even close to 25 years old. This guy's in his early 20s.
Oh, yeah.
Truly a sensational talent that AEW loves using rightly so. Mystico continues to be the most over guy at every show I watch him on. This guy is people I still don't think who watch on the couch realize that he is one of the biggest pro wrestling stars in the world. Like, he gets big reactions in every country, in every company. He is seen as such a big time star. I thought Shingo at times was good. I was like nervous. I was like, oh boy, Shingo could be lost in this because you have the Lucha Libre stuff with Dorada, Mystico, and Titan. The Bucks are doing a lot of the high flying stuff. I'm like, damn, Shingo was a lot more fast paced than I've seen him before. He had a great time, I think, being in a fast paced match like this, which was great to see. We knew the Young Bucks were going to win this because they are probably going to be heading to a big match All In. There was a funny point, though, where Shingo kept no-selling super kicks, where all 4 guys, El Sky and the Young Bucks, super kick him, no-sell, super kick, and he was like pumping himself up how he's no-selling, and then all 4 of them super kick him at the same time. I like seeing Shingo have a fun time. That's all.
I love Shingo.
Bucks went with the Meltzer driver. They pinned Titan. Makes a lot of sense. Really, really good match. Like, really, really good match. That really is for casual people who don't know Forbidden Door. This is like a glimpse of what this pay-per-view really should be.
Yeah, I agree. Fantastic, main card opener. I feel like they just could trust this to be the best opener that they could have because they've got the Young Bucks, which big name, big team. El Sky team, 2 huge names there. And then the New Japan team didn't have as big of names. I feel like Shingo's a huge name.
Shingo is, yeah.
Titan, not as much. But Titan really showed out, did a really good job here. But yeah, I think Shingo had a lot of fun in this fast-paced environment. Probably reminded him of his junior days and his Dragon Gate days. Yeah. Now that he's put on the weight, he usually moves a lot slower.
Yes.
But yeah, it's great for Shingo. Great match. Good for the Young Bucks as they are probably looking to take on the
Cage.
Yeah, Cope and Cage for the tag titles in the near future.
Yeah, I am fascinated in the direction here because obviously we do have the pay-per-view in Canada. So, Cope and Cage are going to be in a major match in Canada at Redemption. But the question is, do they do that with the Bucks? Because obviously I think we all assume Bucks, FTR, Cope and Cage, possibly New Day, Motor Machine Guns in All In. So we'll see if they burn like a Bucks match. They do the Bucks match there and still somehow the Bucks get into All In. We'll see. But really like this match. I thought for Forbidden Door fans, this is what you want to see start the show. Couldn't believe they followed this up with Kenny Omega and Zack Sabre Jr. This was a very New Japan match. It went 27 minutes. I think if everyone out there thinks Kenny Omega can't go after his diverticulitis, this probably will prove you wrong.
For sure.
I absolutely loved this match. It was very Zack Sabre Jr. It was technical after technical after technical move. There was a point where Zack was lying on the ground with the announce table over him. Kenny hit him with the curb stomp on that. Kenny always does that in New Japan, though. Never really does that in AEW, so it was cool to see him pull that out in that match. There was a great moment where Kenny was like in his face, in Zack's face, doing this, and then Zack grabbed his finger, and it's Zack really knows, even as people who watch every Zack match, he finds a way to really exploit something you weren't expecting going into the match. The reversal from the one-winged angel into those pin cover combinations that Zack does, incredible. I knew Zack was not winning, but I genuinely get shocked every time someone kicks out of when he does like the rolling one.
Yeah.
They are really good pin combinations. There was a power driver from Kenny, but then it ended with the one-winged angel after the V-trigger. Knew Omega was going to get this. He's been saying that he wants Redemption, obviously, a.k.a. he's probably going to get this title match at Redemption. I thought this match, again, Zack has done very good at this pay-per-view. He wrestled Nigel last year for the world title. He wrestled Orange Cassidy a couple years ago. He's booked very strong as always, and he's seen as a big deal. But I'm really happy for Kenny that he can still put up 27-minute matches like this. I think it gives a lot of people excitement for a possible Kenny Omega title reign in the very near future. Blackhawk.
Yeah, I agree. This match was great. The build to the final one-winged angle was fantastic.
Yep.
He tried it like 4 or 5 times, it seemed like, and ZSJ just found his way out of it every single time. So that to finally get that one, that's all he needed was one, and he finally hit it and was able to get out of the match. But yeah, this was a fantastic match. It's almost what I expected, which, isn't a bad thing. I expected it to be very good. But this was fun to watch. I was shocked that it was second on the card. I would have thought, it wasn't part of the triple main event, so I figured it would go on, fourth to last. And so to get it second was kind of crazy, but I think it flowed with the show very well.
Yeah, I want to give props because I think AEW has had a lot of weak crowds post Double or Nothing, but this crowd I didn't feel was dead for any match on the main show. They were pretty consistently there for the whole show. So credit to them. This Zack felt like a main event guy again, which is really good to see because he's going to be in the G1, of course. I think it's great. I really do think when they go to Wembley, I think they should have Zack in a match. I really do think. Give him another big time match. If there's a major star who's not doing anything, like if Hangman needs like a match at All In, I just think they should really think about putting Zack in a marquee match at All In.
They've done a really good job of building up the rest of the TMDK members that aren't still with New Japan or somewhere else recently. So maybe we see them continue to come back through AEW, and that's the window for Zack to come back and do something.
Yeah, because I do think they have used him at both. I don't think they used him at the first Wembley, but they definitely used him at the second Wembley show. So I think he has enough cachet in London, especially being a UK guy. I think he would love to do that show again. So if they do like a Casino Gauntlet again, maybe he's in it again. That also works. But I'm all for him getting another shot. A match that over-delivered, which I don't know why I didn't have higher expectations for this match. Jon Moxley defeating Bandito for the Continental Championship. We have said, I think this whole year, that Jon Moxley, post losing the world title, has been probably their most consistent wrestler in ring. This match got very bloody very quickly. Moxley started ripping Bandito's mask a little bit, and he was chewing and biting Bandito so much that he literally looked like the Joker. He had blood all over his lips, his mouth, his cheeks. He literally looked like the Joker, Jon Moxley, in this match. There was a filthy pile driver on steel steps in this match, which busted open Bandito. Again, also can't say this enough. Bandito is a freaking great wrestler who I do think will win a major AEW championship at some point, either this year or next year. Obviously, he's still the ROH world champion. Once he drops that, I could totally see him being a guy in the mix for a major title run. And if it's the TNT title, if it's the Continental, the guy is so damn good. And keeps putting on really good matches. He hit that crazy suplex where he caught Moxley on the top rope and then flipped him over. That was unbelievable. The funniest moment was, and it was really the ending, which was Moxley had Bandito in the stair trap. Bandito was like, and then he picked up Moxley and he did like the cross. Like, this is my last shot. If Moxley doesn't get off me, I'm done. And he falls on Moxley, but Moxley keeps the snare trap on and he passes out. So Moxley wins. This match completely over-delivered. Very, really good. Really, really good match here.
Yeah, I thought the match itself was really, really good. I think the ending for me fell a little flat based on the action that was happening.
Yeah.
You know, it's a Moxley match. I expect those to sometimes end in, you know, a submission. But yeah, I feel like the energy in the flow of the match is really, really good. And then you get to the finish and it just kind of stops. There's no like gradual downturn or, you know, crest the mountain. It just kind of flattened and the match was over. But I really enjoyed it. There was a moment, when you were talking about with that suplex when they were on top of the rope, I really thought Moxley like looked back a few times. I really thought they were gonna go over the back onto the steps. And I was like, that's a Darby spot. It's like, neither of you need to be taking that. But thankfully, they went back into the ring. But yeah, there's fantastic match in itself. But yeah, Bandito will definitely be in the top of the card for AEW within the next couple of years.
Yeah.
Especially once he drops the Ring of Honor title and he can focus fully on doing just AEW shows.
Yeah, I do think, again, I'll save my more Moxley really good talk for the end of the show because I think they used him very well at the very end of the show. He's a really interesting character for me. He is the ultimate tweener. Where this match, he worked very heel because Bandito has the home, you know, the luchadors live in the California area, so it made a lot of sense to work heel. But he still shook his hand after the match and still was very over at the very end of the show. So this guy is this is what tweeners really should be. It depends on who you're wrestling, and there's such fascinating characters that you're cool booing him depending on who he's wrestling, but also cheering him depending on who he's wrestling. He is the ultimate utility person, and I think people still forget how amazing he is as a performer.
100%.
Jon Moxley. Let's get to a match that I think over-delivered, I think, the most. Not that it was my favorite match or in my top 3 favorite match on the show, but I did not have the highest expectations for Shota Umino and Pac. This is for the IWGP Global title. If you're not familiar with New Japan, this is the 1B title for New Japan. They see this very close to the world title. Umino pinned Andrade to win this title 2 weeks ago at Dominion. And he got no reaction, as I expected when he came out. And I was like, all right, so that's why I was nervous. He really had to work to earn the crowd's trust and to win the crowd over by the end of the match. And I was nervous. The first 3 matches were so damn good. I was like, this could be a part where people check out. They're not familiar with Umino. They leave, whatever. But they really won the crowd over. And it really started with Umino doing the vintage when, you know, Pac's laying in between the ropes and Shota hits that DDT. Crowd was chanting for Shota for the majority of this match, which was very good to see. We both talked about how important of a match this was because he has been put in a lot of big spots in New Japan and it has not always gone well. The 45-minute match with Zack last year did not go well, just really underwhelming. And it changed his whole trajectory. New Japan saw him as a main event guy basically a year and a half ago. And he was basically down in the dumps in the majority of last year after that. They gave him the ball again. This is a major championship, and I thought he came through here. Pac hit a amazing belly-to-belly suplex from the top rope in this match. My favorite spot, though, was him just chucking Shota out of the ring through a table.
Yeah.
Razor's Edge. Pac, again, this is another guy. People don't realize how strong he is. Yes, he's jacked, but he is like a very strong guy. And he like barely had Shota up, and he just, see ya, right outside. I forgot the table was there. And then he threw, I was like, oh my God. That was a really crazy spot. We had the vintage New Japan moment where Shota kicked out at one, or he took 2 German suplexes and no-sold it, and then he fell down. Very New Japan. But Shota Umino gets the win. After the match, Moxley comes out, and you're like, oh, this is kind of interesting. You know, Gabe is technically he's with the Dogs, he's with the Death Riders, he's feuding with Shota. What's Moxley going to do? And then Hiroshi Tanahashi, the president of New Japan, comes out and clears out the Death Riders. What are your thoughts on this whole bit of business here?
I thought the match itself was very, very good. Definitely over-delivered my expectations. I thought there was going to be, a good match at a baseline.
Yeah.
Because Pac is good, and I know Shota's good, and I think they could work together very well. But this was such a good match, and it was exactly what Shota needed to prove to people who are sort of casual on New Japan, who maybe know about that Zack match and have kind of written him off as, just not as good as they want him to be. This is a stepping stone for him as far as new audiences go.
Yeah.
And the New Japan audience themselves. I feel like the New Japan audience themselves enjoys Shota, but they haven't fully given their trust to him yet.
Yes.
And so hopefully this is, what pushes that forward in his career. Because I think the office for New Japan sees him as, a future, main event star, somebody that's going to be at the top for a long time. And so they have to build that trust with the audience. And I think this did that really, really well.
Yeah, I think they did good business here. They put over the New Japan, the company itself, a lot in this stuff.
Yeah.
They play off history very well with Shota and Moxley. Shota's been on Forbidden Door, I think, every single one. He's usually teaming up with Moxley, and they brought up the history of him being kicked out of the Death Riders and the fact that Gabe is here for, they brought up Gabe a lot during this match. So they are full steam ahead doing Gabe and Shota after the G1. And I am fascinated with Gabe, what they do with him, because he'll be in the G1. So I can't imagine he's going to be in AEW anytime soon. So, but obviously he's a British guy. I would hope they have him in a big match at All In as well. But he was brought up, so that was good to see as well. That he was in the whole video package was about him as well.
Yep. I am interested to see if they do anything more with Shota and Jon Moxley. Even if it's just like a conversation at the minimum, or they have like a tiff or a match or something, or Jon Moxley comes back to New Japan for just a little bit.
Yeah. It should be interesting what they do with that. But they definitely teased something again. It was, I'll say this. Was it weird, Tanahashi, from a story perspective, should Tanahashi have been out there? No.
No.
But it was good business. It was really the last New Japan-centric match on the show. So it was good to be like, hey, here he is. Tony Khan gave them a custom guitar as well. So I thought it was fun to see him out there. He had short hair, which I think was really weird for people.
Short hair, a little chubby. His knees have not gotten any better.
He's retired now.
Yeah.
And he still had one of the best. And guess what? He can say that he had one of the best matches of 2026. So
that's true. Yeah. Good for him. I'm really happy for Tanahashi and where he's at now. He seems to really enjoy being able to just run New Japan.
Yep.
And so I'm glad that he's doing that and he's excelling at it.
Yes. And again, sorry guys, it is late. I do want to get through these matches and get us out here in an hour, hopefully 45 to an hour, just so Blackhawk and I have time to do what we need to do. When I think it's past now midnight in Blackhawk, right? Are you in the morning now on Monday?
Yes, it is 12:30.
So it's 1:30 my time. It's late, people. So we're just going to power through these matches as always. So again, if we keep commenting, I'll bring them up. But other than that, we're just going to keep powering through. I'll leave some more ads, as they say, or some promotion for the end of the show. I'll leave it for that. Tekla and Starlight Kid. So again, Toru Okada is ringside. Tekla is talking that crap, to him. I thought this was Tekla's best title match as champion. I thought this was really good. There was a real story here. Tekla hates Stardom. Simple, like not that hard. Starlight Kid is 24 years old. Again, really, really good. The fact that we have young, hungry talent in a lot of the companies that were demonstrated on this show. Her kicks were really good. That one submission that she does where she grabs Tekla's leg and just bends it through her neck. Did it multiple times.
Yeah, what do they call it? The muffler? Something muffler.
Yeah, and she swung Tekla with her.
That was so move. Sick. Yeah.
That was really well done. She kicked out of the spear as well. But Tekla speared her again. 2 stomps, got the win. And then Tekla beat the crap out of the Stardom president, Toru Okada, after the match. With the mask that she took off of Starlight Kid. Again,
did you see his tweet after that?
No, I did not.
He did tweet out something about it. I didn't think she hit him that very hard, or if she actually made contact. But he had some scratches and bruises from getting slapped around with that mask. Yeah. So she must have laid it in a little bit.
He looked like he was selling.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if he was like selling, or if he was like actually getting actually hurt.
Or was he actually hurt? Yes. But this is good business. I think Tekla should do a match like this with the title or not every year at Forbidden Door. Like this storyline should always be a thing where she hates Stardom and Stardom's going to keep giving her wrestlers to wrestle every year. I'm all for it. But I thought this was her best match as champion so far, and I liked her reign a lot. I thought the 4-way at Double or Nothing was good. The problem for her at Double or Nothing was the story in that match had really nothing to do with her. It was more about Statlander and Shida more than her. So even though the match was good, you weren't like, wow, Tekla, unbelievable. This match I thought was really, really good. Showed a new star and also proved why Tekla is now, as Tony Khan said, one of the new pillars of the company. And I do think she has earned being in the world title match at All In. She's too big of a star at this point. I really wouldn't have her lose it now until All In. I think she's really earned being in that spot at All In. Do you agree as well, Blackhawk?
Yeah, I completely agree. They'll probably build something for the for what is it, Redemption?
Yeah.
Probably build something for her for Redemption. Maybe throw her another Stardom wrestler. Who knows? But yeah, she definitely deserves to be in that main event spot when it comes down to the women's championship for Wembley. So I completely agree. This match was fantastic. It's definitely the best match that she's had with the title.
Yeah.
Starlight Kid's amazing. I haven't watched a lot of Stardom. I've said that earlier, but from what I have seen, I've really enjoyed Starlight Kid. So I'm looking forward to watching more Stardom. I think I'm going to start watching that a little more consistently.
Yeah.
Especially after this Forbidden Door. But this was fantastic match. Great for Tekla. Starlight Kid looked really strong.
Yeah.
And the story was great. I also really like the Stardom president. I think he's done a very good job of selling the story as well.
Yep.
And it's something that they built almost a year ago, and haven't fully capitalized on until now. Yeah. So I think it's awesome.
I agree. Another match, not excited for, not that pumped, really delivered. The tag team title match, Cope and Cage against the Dogs. The Dogs' entrance was great. Finley and Connors come out and they have these 4 photographers so they can do the 5-second pose, and then they beat up the 4 freaking photographers, which was great. My favorite spot is when the ref bump happened. Clark Connors and Cope are preparing to spear each other, and they literally collide with a double spear. Thought that was really good. Yeah. Clark Connors with a match burning Christian Cage in the head. Very Clark Connors, very, very much so. Clark Connors. Again, this is where Walker Stewart's really good. Brought up the fact that it's actually interesting now. I'm watching the show now because Finley and Connors never tagged together in New Japan. They were the same faction, but Connors was always a junior heavyweight. Finley was always a heavyweight. I thought Walker did a really good job explaining how, for regular fans, they really were never a tag team. They were in the same faction for years, but never were a legit tag team. Thought that was good. The match was good. The return was chef's kiss, people, especially as a monster Bullet Club guy myself. There's a ref bump in this match. Finley starts using the shillelagh. Looks like he's about to end the match. The lights go out. We cut to the stage. It's the Bang Bang Gang. I'm like, all right. They're still feeding the dogs. That makes sense. Then the lights go out on the Bang Bang Gang at the top of the rope, or the top of the ramp, excuse me. Lights are still out, and we hear Switchblade, the shing, and there is Jay White. He is finally back. He's not been on AEW TV in over a year, people. It's been over a year since he's been on AEW TV. He had a wrist injury, a hand injury, as well as and while he was dealing with the hand stuff, he wanted to fix his shoulder as well. So that's why he was out for the long period of time. That pop was great. I jumped out of my chair because I can never tell when he's coming back. Sometimes he'll tweet, and you're like, oh my God, he's coming back. And then he won't tweet, and he still won't show up. You're like, I don't know when Jay's coming back at this point.
He's been out for a year and a half, and he's been teasing a return for a year and a half.
Yes, but he hits the Blade Runner on Finley, and again, these are the last two leaders of Bullet Club. Finley had to turn on Jay White to take over Bullet Club. This is what I'm talking about. Bang Bang Gang feuding with the dogs. Yes, sign me up, especially with the Bang Bang Gang finally, all five of them are healthy, good to be together. I know you have Finley and Connors. When Gabe comes back, we can do a fun trios match there. Because Finley, again, has history with Juice as Finn Juice. And obviously, he is the one who turned on Jay White to take over the Bullet Club. So I am all here for this. What were your thoughts on this whole situation here? As Copenhagen as well.
Yeah, I thought the match was okay. I was Cope and Cage are like a fun nostalgia thing,
yes,
for sure. But I haven't been super moved by any of their matches, and so it just is what it is. But I thought that the return made everything worthwhile.
Yeah.
I was a little baffled when they started out with the Bang Bang Gang. I was like, all right, they've had a little tiff, but yeah. I don't see the reason for all of them to be out here. Yeah. And then they hit the Switchblade. I was like, oh,
yeah,
they're whole now. So very excited for that. I look forward to seeing how that works. And Wednesday we'll probably hear something about that from Jay White himself, hopefully. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Wednesday now. Return was great. Match was okay. I think this was probably the worst match on the card. I agree. Completely. But it was still good. Like it was still good, but it was definitely
made up for it.
Yeah, the moment really carried the entire thing. But yeah, it leaves us excited for Wednesday at least.
Yeah, I think Jay White and Finley feud. Again, I said this about in WWE for a long time. When you have the Bullet Club guys, use it as history, use it as story. Like, do it. This is it. These are literally the last two iterations of Bullet Club. Literally, you have Juice and Jay and Ace, who are part of the old iteration of Bullet Club, and they had the last version with the dogs. Cool. They should be feuding. They should hate each other. That group turned on the other group to become the War Dogs. Like, yes, this is what should be happening. You work with New Japan. You have the history. This is a slam dunk story. Easy slam dunk story.
Yeah, it's easy. It's already written itself. You've just got to do it.
I saw everyone posting the picture of Finley standing over Jay in 2023 at that San Jose show, and then Jay White standing over Finley 3 years later. I'm very excited for this. I am excited too because I think Jay, honestly, was really not booked well when he originally signed with AEW. Really was. You could say, well, he was the main event max of Full Gear. That was the worst booked AEW show I have ever seen. It really was a joke, especially booking wise for Jay White. But don't remember that show, MJF got beaten up so bad he had to go to the hospital Then he came back for the main event and still beat Jay White on basically one leg. It was a really bad booking decision that they really never recovered from Jay White's perspective. I'm really hoping this second chance here, post-injury. He had such a big reaction. I think he should be a main event guy. I think he is like the only Grand Slam champion for New Japan as well. This guy is a top guy. So I'm really hoping this post-injury here gets a second chance at being a top guy in AEW. Blackhawk.
And I think AEW back then also was just in a really weird spot.
Yeah.
They've really, over the last year and a half since he's been injured, have kind of come into their own and really hit a stride that they were really searching for before he got injured. So to be fair, a lot of weird things were going on while that run was going on. So Agreed. I do think this will be a lot better for him. I think AEW is in a lot better position. I think the stories are in a lot better position.
Yep.
And so I think I'm very excited for this Jay White run. So let's see what happens.
Gang can do trios and tag and other stuff. They don't need him to do all the tags. So
exactly.
I think if Jay can win this feud, I would put Jay in a lot of big matches. I really would. I would not wait long. But I'm really happy that he got such a big pop. And it was so cute when he was like running up to the guys and he was like, the guns, and the whole crowd cheered when he jumped into. I thought that was really, really nice stuff. This match was my favorite match of the show until the main event. Maya World and Mercedes Moné is one of the best women's matches, I think, in AEW history, in my opinion. I thought this match kicked all tons of ass because the whole point, story-wise, is, and I hope people out there had this as well. I was thinking the whole match was like, oh my God, Maya World is going to win this match. They bought me a ticket multiple times. I was like, really? Because when she kicked out of the Moneymaker, I was like, whoa. I was like, okay, interesting. She got to the rope on the bank statement or whatever they call it now. And I was like, okay, wow. They bought me a ticket. They gave you a really good feeling that Maya World, first of all, had a shot. There's a great story here, obviously, if you're not familiar. Maya World inspiration to get into wrestling was Mercedes Moné. There's a video now coming out where she met her at a signing 4 years ago in WWE, and here they are killing it. Obviously, a lot of emotions. Her brother just died. She gets put in this spot because of Sari not being cleared to wrestle. And boy, did AEW make the most out of it. And this is what the great thing about tournament wrestling is yes, did the big star win, and is she getting the big match all in? Yes. But they really have established another potential superstar in Maya World, I thought. Thought the match was really great. Like I said, the Meteoras was really good for Mercedes as always. I love the move where Maya World rolls over and does like the stomp. Io Sky does that as well. Mercedes also took that in the match. There's the moves where Maya World had 3 suplexes in a row, including one out to the edge of the ring. I thought was really good. The sunset flip powerbomb too was filthy. You could hear the thump when Mercedes hit the floor on that spot. Mercedes ends up actually winning because she does put in the statement again and gets the win. But the whole match kept thinking to myself, really? They're really going to have Maya World. It is not in a bad way. I believed this. And I was texting someone who hasn't seen much of her work, and he was like, I'm rooting for Maya World. Like, he got so sucked into the match that he ended up rooting for Maya World. And I think that's the accomplishment. Even for people who don't watch AEW on a weekly basis, this match sold you a ticket that you wanted to see the underdog get the win over the much, much bigger star. I thought this was great business across the board. Blackhawk, what were your thoughts on this really incredible match, in my opinion?
Yeah, I thought this was absolutely fantastic. They did a really, really good job of selling that underdog story. They did a really good job of selling it the entire tournament. Yeah. And she has done a really good job of, being the overcomer up until this moment. They put a lot of faith in her, especially somebody who came into AEW on a last minute, change. Yep. And really showed out. to now she's last minute change again and gets all the way to the end and shows out through the entire thing. So it's great for Maya World. They're building a story with her and Athena. She might be the one to beat Athena on Ring of Honor.
Yep.
And so that could be huge. That would be huge for her career.
Yeah, huge.
Just even a lot of people are going to be like, oh, she was, top of the Owen, now she's going back to Ring of Honor. But beating Athena, I feel like, is a bigger accomplishment than winning the Owen right now.
Sure.
So that would be huge for her. She's definitely going to be somebody who you need to be watching out for in the future. Somebody who's going to hold the TBS title, somebody who's going to hold the AEW Women's Championship at some point. And I would expect her to be in the Owen next year.
Just an incredible story, really emotional as well if you think about it, just what she's gone through. Top indie wrestler in the world last year. Yes, turns a whim like, I'll sub in to be a jobber tonight, to having a full-time contract. She's been used heavily really on Ring of Honor, and now gets thrust into the spot. Her brother dies, a lot of emotions, going on. She had every excuse to not go all in and really show out, but she really did. And again, you can tell too, it's emotional. She's wrestling her inspiration too. She beat Athena in the semifinals. That's her mentor. If you guys are not familiar, both from the Dallas area. Athena really discovered Maya World and put her on her own shows and all of that stuff. And here she is beating her mentor and now wrestling her idol at a pay-per-view. Again, also don't want to get thing across. Mercedes is still the best women's wrestler in the world. People want to crap on her, whatever she wants. She just is the most consistent pay-per-view women's wrestler we got right now. She is so incredible. Because not just that match, yes, you need Maya World to sell, like, oh, I'm going to win. Mercedes has to sell that something is in doubt in the match. And you could feel it. She was at first very cocky, like, yo, this is too big for you. But as the match went on, she was taking her very seriously. Couldn't be happier. Maya World, I don't think, is also in her very early 20s. AEW is finding these stars that are very young, which is very important. And they're making them feel like big stars now, not waiting. They're pulling the trigger on a lot of these people now, which I think is very... This was a very nice show. It really was. It's
important to pull some triggers on people that are this young. You don't have to give them the belt, but give them the opportunities, give them the big moments. So when it is time to give them the belt, it's believable.
And she got wins before this,
Yeah, she got big wins before this to make it to this moment. And now when she comes up in 3 months for the TBS title or the AEW Women's Championship, it makes sense. It doesn't feel like it's out of the blue.
I think a lot of people were not excited for this match. Casuals, I'll say, were like, really, Maya World against Mercedes? I think a lot of those, they shut up a lot of doubters who saying, well, this is not Ospreay Swerve level. I thought this match was so incredible. Until the main event, I thought this was untouchably the best match on the show. It had those emotions of real, like, a match that you go like, Mercedes is going to win. I think everyone just thought that going in. Every minute you were like, you were building to Maya World is really going to actually do this. I just thought they captured those emotions that you don't get a lot in wrestling anymore. Building up like, this is really going to happen. This is really going to happen. And even if it didn't happen, there wasn't that like, oh man, that sucks. There was cool. They built a really good star out of losing. That also happens as well. Let's get to this cage match. It was insane. Why wouldn't it be insane? We had Nintendo, right? We had like video game stuff in here. We had thumbtacks. We had orange slices as a courtesy from Willow. The nastiest spot. There were two nasty spots, okay, in this match. The first one is thumbtacks are brought out. And right away, first of all, when this match starts, I hope everyone else has this opinion. I was like, how is Darby going to die in this match? I hope that's what everyone thinks of, first of all. He just had his wedding, by the way. Congrats to Darby.
Yep, congrats to him.
But
did you see his dad get chopped by Brody King.
Yeah, and then his mom body slams him on the dance floor.
Yeah.
Guy, what a
What a
family,
wedding.
what a guy.
I also saw a video of Brody King riding a bull.
Yeah, seems like a fun wedding. With
Yeah,
Darby.
it's like an insanely good wedding.
But there was a spot in this match where the thumbtacks were brought out to Max and Darby. And you know Darby is going through these tacks, but I did not think it was going to be the way. Max flips him up, and Darby rotates a full 360 degrees, and he falls face first on the tacks. That was absolutely filthy. The other spot that was great was Takeshi hitting a blue thunder bomb on Fletcher through the table. It looked out of control in a really good way. But I still think the MVP spot of this match is Mr. Lio Rush, who has completely taken over and has become an extremely important act now, which is so funny. He just won the Ring of Honor TV championship, by the way. The whole time they were building up the fact that they brought out this big duffel bag, and everyone brought out a book bag on the conglomeration side. Darby had a booby-trapped one where Kevin Knight opened it and it just exploded, which, by the way, also made a lot of sense. So Okada, MJF is opening this bag. He's like, what the hell did they put in this bag? And it was literally Lio Rush. And it absolutely popped me. Even though he popped up at, the Stadium Stampede, I still had no idea he was going to be in this match.
Yeah.
And it was so good. MJF sold it really well. They acted like he was Gollum because MJF was like playing with his ring and Leo's like my precious the whole time. It was so, and then he started beating up all the Don Callis family members. I thought that was a lot of fun. The coast to coast spot from Kevin Knight too was really good. You could really feel that connecting. But the big ending of this match was they were building to, obviously, was what would be the dissension between the Don Callis family and MJF. And it turned out, not surprisingly, but satisfying, was that it was Andrade. Because at the beginning of the match, like they're all like, fighting with each other. They had to be separated at the beginning of the match. But at the end of the match, MJF's like, you hold him up right now. Like, not Doyle, you. You need to hold up Briscoe. And then Andrade hit him with a back fist. There was no accident. And then he kicked Doyle in the nuts. He took off the shirt and it said F Don, F MJF. And Briscoe pins Doyle with the J Driller. They continue to not surprise that you knew this match was going to deliver. There are a lot of people in this match. I was like, are they good in these matches? Like Takeshita and Okada, for example. Even Takeshi's like, I'm going to go through my book bag. Oh, there's nothing in there except my middle finger.
Yeah.
There was a lot of
that gag was hilarious. And about 10 seconds in, I knew what it was, but it still was so funny.
There was a lot of memorable spots, Blackhawk, in this match. How much did you enjoy this here?
I really enjoyed this one. I was looking at Roderick Strong when he took the bag out of the ring early on in that match, the big one.
Yeah.
And I saw him slide it under the ring again.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I wonder what they're going to do with that.
Yeah.
So when Lio Rush popped out, I thought that was hilarious. The Nintendo spot was really good. I feel like Fletcher took a lot of the damage for this match.
He did.
Like Fletcher took almost every major thing other than the tables and the explosion from Darby.
Yeah.
But the explosion from Darby was cool. With Kevin Knight. Kevin Knight did not go through all four tables though. He went through two and just smacked on the other two.
I think he was surprised how bad that explosion was. That was a really big explosion.
Yeah. That was much bigger than anybody really anticipated.
Yeah.
But yeah, then I was also curious as why Andrade had not stripped at all during the match, because that's like one of his big things.
That as well. Yes.
And then he ends up taking his shirt off to reveal another shirt that says F Don Callis and F MJF. So all in all, really, really fun. I feel like when you get these multi-man cage matches, they can either be really, really, really good,
Yep.
or they can be very, very, very bad. And luckily this one was very good. I like the circle like cage that they use.
Unique for sure.
Because I don't feel like they've done a lot of like just one-on-one cage matches in AEW.
Yeah.
And so doing the multi-man in a cage, it makes sense to have a large cage with an exterior to be able to make use of the outside of the ring. And so it's a great idea. It works really well. I think they utilized the cage very well. I didn't know if the climbing out of the cage was like in play in this match.
They did not. They did not.
Yeah, they didn't really explain that. And so when Kevin went up first, I was like, oh, they're gonna fight at the top of the cage, and because he's trying to get out. Yeah. But yeah, I thought this was very good. It definitely delivered. I think it was just as good as I expected it to be with who was in this match. So yeah, it was a very, very good match.
I think there's a lot of interesting directions. I still think the all-in match should be Fletcher, Okada, and Takeshita. I think it should be a three-way. The Proto-Okada stuff was really funny because every time they would run into each other, they'd be like, oh, Proto-Okada. And then Fletcher super kicked Okada. I was like, oh my God. You get like surprised. There are a lot of good stories.
Yeah.
It really is amazing. These guys have been doing stare downs for 2 straight years. Every time Takeshita and Okada do a stare down, the whole crowd acts like it's the first time they're ever seeing each other. Like, oh my God, they're doing it again.
I feel like it's just like if you had Kenny and Okada standing in a ring and looking at each other, everybody would go crazy. And so it's kind of the same thing as just like it's Takeshita and Okada. They're gonna go at it again.
Yes, I agree. I thought they did very well. They balanced the blood with comedy very well. Never pulled me out of the match when they went the comedy route.
100%.
So that's good. Let's get to this damn main event. Will Ospreay and Swerve. So Ospreay gets his video package. I wrote down this line. Moxley narrates, by the way, this whole package. So awesome. Really good stuff. Moxley says, only the man who walks out of the darkness finds his destiny. And boy, did I have chills when he said that. Ospreay comes out in a full Bane outfit. I was like, holy crap. I was like, this is crazy. And then Swerve comes out as Lobo. Yes, dude. Like, this was great. This was great, entrance-wise. They have had 2 other matches in AEW. They wrestled 2 years ago in the main event at Forbidden Door. Swerve won. They wrestled it for a draw as well last year. I don't know. Every time they wrestle, people say, oh, every time they change wrestling. I really do think this might be my favorite match of the year. And this is coming from someone who knew with no doubt that Will Ospreay was winning this match. It had nothing to do with it. There was so much emotion in this match. First of all, they have off the chains, extremely great chemistry with each other. You can tell they really are close friends in real life, and you can really tell that they really want to do something crazy in all these matches. Like when they start moving really fast, you're like, it gets really hyped. The blood was very early in this match. Ospreay was also using a lot of the Death Riders tactics in this match. Like he used the arm bar on the outside. Ospreay got bloodied pretty quickly. There was a lot of hidden blades. There was a lot of stomps. There was a lot of everything. There's one where it was really good sell where Ospreay could barely hit the hidden blade, and then Swerve's like, really? And then he just freaking clocked him with an elbow. I was like, oh my God. The top rope Hurricanrana from Ospreay was really good. Swerve went for a powerbomb on the top rope. Ospreay turned it into a Hurricanrana. Swerve hit a dead eye. Keep that in know. Swerve hit a dead eye in this match. The Styles Clash on the announce table was good. Ospreay didn't even get it completely on, and he was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it anyway. The house call off the table on Ospreay was really good as well. Then Moxley started doing the Moxley back of the head punches. I was like, holy crap. I was like, he's going to win like this. The ref pulled him back. No. The swerve stomp when Moxley was like laying, not Moxley, but Ospreay was laying flat on the corner was really good. There was a point where Ospreay hit the hidden blade. And I always forget the name of these fucking moves now because it's too late, guys. It's too late. Storm break.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that's it. He kicked out of that. Swerve kicked out of that. And then Swerve hit his moves. Ospreay kicked out of it. And then here comes the Death Riders. And this is what I'm talking about. Like professional wrestling with a capital P. This was it. Like Moxley and all of them are pumping Ospreay up. And I got out of my seat when Swerve hit what do you call it? The kick or whatever they call it.
The house call.
House call. And not just did Ospreay no sell, but he stared at Moxley. And I was like, this is what I am talking about. Like, this is the shit, dude. Like, I was like, this is great. He gets back up, hidden blade. Swerve kicks out again. But then he's like, no more. That's enough. You got to kill him. One more hidden blade. Also hits a couple paradigm shifts. Ospreay does as well. Ospreay wins the Owen for a match that you knew was a for sure winner. They absolutely hit a grand slam. I thought there was so much emotion, and they really put you on Ospreay's journey to Wembley. You really desperately want him to win the world title at Wembley. And I was not even thinking about the Death Riders even coming out in this match. I thought after Moxley did the package, I was like, all right, that's fine. Boy, did I have chills when he stared at Moxley and they were all cheering him on. And I thought that was a really special moment. So what were your thoughts, Blackhawk, on this just tremendous main event?
This match was incredible.
Yeah.
Just as we were just talking about it, I really enjoyed the Death Riders coming out and just hyping up Ospreay.
Yeah,
it's something we don't see very often, and I wish we would see more, especially with people who are in factions. With the team being out there for big moments to hype them up and give them some motivation, not just to interrupt and try to cause havoc, but to look at them and be like, "You've got this. You got to do this."
Yes.
And so, I thought that was awesome. It's something that they do in Stardom too. Sometimes, a lot of times, the ring will be surrounded by other wrestlers, and they'll be in there hyping them up, especially if they're in the faction together. Yes. And so I think I like that a lot about Stardom. I wish we saw more of it in other places. But yeah, I think that spot worked out really, really well here.
Yep.
Yeah, it felt like one of them was going to have to almost die in this match because they hit a point where they're both lying down. They're both almost out.
Yeah.
And they both hit a second wind, get that energy back, get back up. And they do almost like a high up shot, like a sky shot of the ring. And you can just see the pools of blood that are just everywhere. And it's like, this has got somebody's like, they need a transfusion.
Yep.
It's like non-death match, but you're bleeding more than I think most of the AEW death matches have had.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I thought this was really, really good. This probably is the best, at a minimum, the best AEW match of the year.
Yeah.
And so I'm very excited for Wembley. I'm excited for what the future holds for Will Ospreay. I am also very curious where they go with Swerve from this because, Swerve put on an incredible performance like we are used to him doing.
Yep.
But what do we do with him now?
No Hangman back yet either.
Yeah, Hangman's not back yet. He could, face Jon Moxley for the Continental.
I can see that. Sure.
That could be a really good story, but there's nothing set in stone. Ospreay, we have something set in stone. So I'm really looking forward to All In. Looking forward to Dynamite this week. We are set up for a really good home stretch for All In already. Yep. They've got another event in the middle. So
yes, we'll be back talking about AEW Redemption. I don't want to talk about this match. It was so good. Again, people do complain a lot. Well, this is so predictable booking. Like we know, and I just think sometimes predictable is really good. Sometimes predictable is just the right thing to do. And
yeah, there's nothing wrong with this being predictable at all.
No.
Like most of this card, I felt like was predictable.
Yeah.
But it's still up to them to put on a good match, regardless of a majority of the people already know who's going to win.
Yeah.
I think it's like WWE does that sometimes, where it's like the card is extremely predictable and just the match doesn't follow up. And this event showed that you can have an event where most people know almost every result before the match even starts and still deliver an incredible event.
Yeah, I was blown away by this match. I love, because I was in person for their first match at Forbidden Door 2 years ago, and I was blown away by that. And they have topped it, in my opinion. You really felt the stakes of the Owen Hart main eventing All In. Swerve being like, I made it All In, lost the title to Bryan. I want that chance again at Wembley. And Ospreay's like, this is my dream. Like, I don't care that we're friends. Like, this is it. You're in my way. I got to win. And a lot of people were very nervous when the Death Riders became a very focal aspect of Ospreay. And
I think it was a great decision.
It really has been a home run decision.
Yeah.
No, like Bully Ray being like, the Death Riders don't do anything for AEW, or these people who have these takes.
Bully Ray isn't watching AEW.
Of course not.
Nobody who is watching AEW has that take.
Well, look at this. Look at the Death Riders. A year ago, everyone hated this group, wanted them to break up. And I've been told too, like Moxley really fought for them to never break up. Like he really fought. We're not breaking up, no matter what. And it has really worked out for them, all involved. And I don't think, again, I said this at the last show, they are not turning on Will at all. Like they're gonna be with him through All In, people. That's what I think. At
a minimum through All In. I don't think he's a permanent member, but yeah,
but my opinion, I think
through All In.
I do think after Ospreay wins the title, he will give Moxley the first shot at the title. I do think that's a respect thing. He'll be like, you got me to this point. You deserve a shot, or one of you guys deserves a shot. Like if Moxley loses the Continental Championship at All In, Ospreay could be like, next up, you're next up. You got me to this point. I wouldn't be here without you. I don't want to see them break up at any point over the next 2 months going into All In. Like it's really,
not at all. I
think it will hit a lot more if the Death Riders, just like tonight, are with him, celebrating him at All In. I do think that's very important. I do want to do a big topic is Tony Khan. I can't believe he's doing a press conference. It's still going on at 2 a.m, guys.
Oh my God.
Credit to all the media, including Amber, by the way, who's there representing Body Slam. So thanks for her doing all the great coverage as always. Funny, Tekla walked into the press conference wearing Starlight Kid's mask. So that is very good. But Tony Khan was asked about Yota Tsuji, who boycotting Forbidden Door. And Fightful, I want to give credit. They're the ones who had this quote, so I'm just quoting them. Tony Khan said, I'm a really big fan of Yota Tsuji. I have a lot of respect for him and the IWGP World title. I'd love to have him here. And I've been a fan of his for many years. There was another side to what he said, and that's that I've always shown great respect to him and the wrestlers. He's always felt very respected by AEW when he comes here, and he feels like the New Japan wrestlers get a lot of respect from the company and from me personally. I'm a big fan of his, and I've tried to let him know and always make him feel welcome. So I don't know if Tsuji is going to do this next year again. I don't know if he's more anti-AEW. I think he's just more, I want to wrestle for New Japan. I think they're the best. I don't want to, Would it have been nice to have him on this show? Yes, I think Tony would have actually booked him to win a match. But I don't think.
Yeah, I feel like if Yota Tsuji showed up, he was winning. Whatever it is, he's winning.
He was never booking MJF versus Tsuji. He was never booking that for this show. So I'm happy he commented on that. Did you like the show more than Double or Nothing?
I don't know. I feel like right now I would say yes, but I think I need to really watch both of them back to back to really say whether or not I like this one more.
Yeah.
I feel like on my Patreon, I've been doing the ratings. I feel like the ratings are very similar.
Yeah.
And so it would be something to go back and watch them back to back and really make a decision, off of the night high from the event.
Yes. In the moment, I liked the show more. I thought there was a lot more emotion that came out of me watching the show. I love Stadium Stampede. I love Max and Darby. I loved Takeshi and Okada on that show. But from like an in-ring, I did really like Maya World and Mercedes. I thought was better than a lot of things on that show. And I do think Ospreay and Swerve was. And look, Kenny and Zach being like the third or fourth best match on this show, or fifth, depending on if you like the cage match as well.
Yeah.
I did not think I would say Kenny and Zach was like my third or fourth favorite match on this show going in. And they had an amazing match, people. 26-minute match. Yeah. And it was like the fourth best match on the show. That shows you how good of a show this was. The crowd was hot for everything. I really do think AEW is really hitting a really good stride, especially this year in particular.
Yes.
They know how important it is that what people know about them is they deliver on these pay-per-views. They hit home runs. So we'll be back basically a month from now. July 26th is AEW Redemption in Canada. That is the last stop before All In. So we're heading down the home stretch of the biggest time of the year for AEW. It's in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, at the Bell Center, which is where the Montreal Canadiens play. I still think they're going to do Omega versus MJF, and they're going to have Omega win the world title at the show, which is going to be very interesting. We'll see as of now, it seems like we're going to get Omega, Ospreay, Mercedes, and Tekla at All In. I would be shocked if it's anything other than that as of now for the two titles, but and I think we're going to get that big TLC tag title match as well. Other than that, a lot of things are up in the air. Hangman, I think, will be back before All In. I would imagine he will be back before All In. Jay White is back. Willow is going to be back. And by the way, she had a video package. She's already going to be back from this injury in July, which is great. So I could see Willow maybe coming back, beating Tekla before All In. But I just think Tekla needs to be in that spot All In and be the champion. So I am very excited. I think AEW is killing it. Me and Blackhawk do every single AEW post show. Luckily, at All In, Blackhawk is going to be a much
yes.
show.
Yes.
We're literally going to be done the post show and be like, what else can we do tonight after the show?
Yep.
Which is really great. By the way, also, if you guys are not familiar, NXT had a show tonight, and they announced that they are doing AAA Worlds Collide and an NXT show at the same day and the same time as All In. So they're going to go up against AEW again. So I don't think it worked out for them tonight.
No.
I'm really happy for Kendall Gray. She's the
yep.
That's what that show should have been about, was Kendall Gray winning the NXT title. So I'm very happy for her. But I think people are going to be talking about this show tomorrow. And Sami Zayn obviously winning. It was a really news-packed weekend.
Yeah, huge weekend for this.
And I don't think there were any bad shows. So that to me is a thumbs up. I enjoyed the majority of the wrestling that went on. A lot of emotion. I was really happy when Sami Zayn won, like really genuinely pumped that they gave him the title finally. And the fact that I knew Ospreay was winning, and I still wanted to come out of my chair and get on my feet for that final 2 minutes. It just shows you great pro wrestling at its finest. So what a weekend. Hope you guys enjoyed nearly 9-10 hours of wrestling today. If you were watching that, and the 3 hours yesterday, it's like 14, 15 hours of wrestling.
Yeah, it's a lot.
All enjoyed it. Blackhawk, where can people find you?
You can find me at Blackhawk Walker on all social media platforms other than Instagram. It is the Blackhawk Walker. I do match ratings on my Patreon. Plus, I have a YouTube channel where I do videos. I haven't done one in a while, but once things kind of settle after going to Chicago for the G1, I've got some ideas and some plans set forth. So if you are watching my videos and wondering why I haven't posted since Evil left New Japan, something will be coming soon. Don't worry. I've got some ideas, just waiting for the right time to post them. So Yeah, just hold on. Once I get back from Chicago, I'm getting full steam ahead on a lot of stuff that I have plans and I'm setting up for now. But I will be in Chicago for the G1. If you are there, say what's up, say or tell me that you enjoyed our stuff.
Yeah.
Or if you hated it, let me know.
If you love House of Torture, tell Blackhawk.
Yeah. If you love House of Torture, let me know.
Yeah.
But so that's about it for me. What about you, Max?
Dinenberg Max on Twitter, Max Dinenberg on Instagram. Please follow Body Slam on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. I post highs and lows. I'm back doing that tomorrow for Monday Night Raw. Luckily, it's an early Monday Night Raw tomorrow because they're double taping Raw and SmackDown. So 6 o'clock Raw tomorrow. But I'll be back highs and lows every single day. That's Raw on Mondays, SmackDown, NXT Tuesday, Dynamite Wednesdays, Friday SmackDown, Saturday Collision. I also host every post show, AW, Ring of Honor, NXT. I couldn't do NXT tonight because I was doing Forbidden Door. But so July, I'll be doing the post shows for Saturday Night's Main Event at Madison Square Garden. And I'll be doing the post show with Blackhawk for Redemption. Plus, every single Friday from 6 to 7 o'clock. If you enjoyed this show and you want to be more interested in New Japan Pro Wrestling, Blackhawk and I will be doing a full preview show for the G1 this upcoming Friday. We're going to break down every wrestler, their chances to win, all that fun stuff. So if you are interested and you're just want to, this is the perfect time, in my opinion, to get into New Japan. The G1 is starting. It's the best tournament in the world. So if you want to hear what our thoughts are, check us out every Friday from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as on Not So Young Lions. Trying to make sure that's everything. I believe that is everything. So again, thanks for all those people who commented and were here tonight. The fact that we haven't had more than, as I said, one person watching us is truly a miracle because it is 2:20 in the morning, my time. So thanks everyone for joining us for another fantastic AEW show. Have a great week. Happy July, everyone. We're in the second half of 2026 very soon. So let's all strive for a really great end of the year. And everyone, we'll see you guys next time on Body Slam.